What's up, everybody? Chelsea Sherrod in the PNC Bank Digital Studio for episode 3 of Court Vision, where we talk about the top Division I men's basketball programs in New England. On tap for today, the Northeastern Huskies. Former interim head coach at Boston College, Coach Scott Spinelli, is back with me. What's up, Coach?
Hey, Chelsea. Nice to see you. Happy early Thanksgiving to you.
Thank you. Thank you. We are looking forward to all the food on Thursday. I know you are. We just talked about that. Okay, Coach, the Huskies are 3-3 on the season. They dropped their first 2 games against Colgate and Georgia State. Then they had a big bounce-back win over BU, which sparked a 3-game win streak until they met Colorado State, where they lost by 10. There will be a lot of tests for Northeastern looking at this schedule, but which matchups are you circling on your calendar?
Well, the rematch with Colgate coming up here in early December is going to be a great test for Northeastern to kind of see, what they've gotten better at and what they still have weaknesses in terms of, some things that broke down last game against them. And Colgate's picked to win their league. So that's a really good test for them, coming up early. The other game is Davidson. David's coming to Matthews Arena. And as you know, Chelsea, Davidson's a very formidable opponent, a team that's had great success in the Atlantic 10. They're very well coached. And playing against a team like that from the Atlantic 10, a team that's going to be very, very good in all 5 positions, is going to really test Northeastern and get them ready for their CAA schedule. The third matchup I think that's significant here is the Delaware game in February. Playing against a team that's picked to win the league. You're obviously playing for seeding come February. If they could get that win into February, get some confidence and play for that higher seed going into the conference tournament, that's another game to look out for.
Absolutely. Okay, conference play starts December 29th at Elon for Northeastern. All right, Coach, the Huskies returned 9 players, not including last season's leading scorer, Tyson Walker, who transferred to Michigan State. Having seen this team over the last 6 games, who are some players that you're keeping on your radar?
Well, it's going to start this year with Jamel Telford. Last year, he was a freshman. He was actually the 6th man of the year in the CAA. This year, he's their go-to guy. They lost Tyson Walker. He transferred out to Michigan State. And Jamel is going to be counted on. He's a 6'7", 220-pound, kind of a man-child, a guy that can score, a player that can score at all 3 levels. He can go inside, take smaller guys to the basket. He can also step away and shoot the 3. But they're going to be counting on him to be their go-to guy. And there's another young man that actually is a very key player for them, and that's going to be their 5th-year transfer, Nicolo Jogo. He played at Notre Dame. He was actually their team captain, and I'm pretty familiar with him, seeing him over the last several years in the ACC. But his impact on the floor will be kind of like a Swiss Army knife. He can do a lot of different things to help them win. In terms of his impact, shooting, defending, he's versatile. But the other side of it is his leadership quality. He was actually the captain of the Notre Dame team. And when you can bring a guy in from a high culture program like Notre Dame, who's the consummate winner, the ultimate teammate, his impact isn't just going to be on the court, it's going to be off the floor too.
Absolutely. Jogo, the grad transfer from Notre Dame, averaging 10 points per game. He had 17 against Colorado State, Coach. He has an incredible size. He's very active with and without the ball, so we will definitely keep our eyes on that. Okay, Northeastern finished with a 10-9 record last season. They're 8-2 in CAA play last year as well, and won their 4th straight regular season championship. What does Northeastern have to do this season to be successful?
Well, defending the 3-point line is something that they've had success at this early in the season. Right now, they're 33rd in the country. Holding teams at 25% from the 3-point line. And that's a very intriguing statistic when you look back at 2018-19, when Northeastern made it to the NCAA tournament. They were 2nd in their league in terms of their 3-point field goal percentage defense. So with their versatility, Shaquille Walters, Jogo, you talked about Jamel Telford, even Chris Doherty, if they can continue to contest those 3-point shots, top foot, high hand, I think that's going to bode well for them. But the other side of this is valuing the basketball. Right now, there's way too many turnovers. They're averaging over 15 a game. They've got to get that corrected.
Absolutely. Okay, the Huskies did fall to Drexel in the conference semifinals last season. I'm sure that's something that they'll use for motivation this year. Coach, biggest question of the day. Do you expect this team to make the NCAA tournament come March? Why or why not?
Well, so much of these one bid leagues, it comes down to playing your best basketball and being ready for the conference tournament. So I think Coach Cohen and his staff have done a really good job at scheduling and getting your team ready for that conference tournament. You want to be getting better every game from the point where you start your season until you enter the CAA tournament in March. And if they're playing their best basketball, if they can compete and get a nice seed, a good seed in that tournament, you take one game at a time. Being a guy that played in those one big league when I played in college, it's really important, like a final exam where you're preparing yourself every game leading up to that tournament. And the most important game is that first game. Take one game at a time, but it's going to take that conference tournament to be playing your best basketball. And I believe Northeastern will be ready, especially with this schedule.
Absolutely. Okay, head coach Bill Cohen has led the team to 2 NCAA tournaments over the last 7 seasons, in 2015 and in 2019, like you mentioned. Okay, up next, Northeastern is at Harvard on Saturday. Tip-off is at 5 p.m., airing on NESN. We'll check back in with Coach Spinelli next week when we break down a program that he knows very well, his alma mater, Boston University. Coach, I'm looking forward to that.
I am too. Thank you, Chelsea.
Thanks, Coach. PNC Bank, helping to make banking easier.